Hi, and welcome back to Bookkeepers Bootcamp. I'm Zoe Whitman. I'm here with Jo Wood, and we're joined by Jodie Parsons today. Hey, Jodie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I love having a chat with Jodie. So I know this is going to be a great conversation about your practice, and I know a lot about your story, and I'm really excited for you to share this with everybody as well. Jodie, do you want to start by telling us a bit about what you do and what your background is? You know, what did you do before all of this started?
So I've worked in various different sort of bookkeeping type roles throughout my career, but my last employed role was a finance director for an engineering company. And I worked my way up from a level 2 bookkeeper with not much experience up to finance director in 5 years, and really helped that company change things around and do lots of different things. Like I was running the company pretty much with some help with some other guys there. And yeah, that's where I got most of my experience, really. I've been in like credit control before as well. Every single business that I seemed to work for, I just then helped them with their finances. It just seemed like a natural thing that I fell into like every time. So even when I tried to change my career to something else, I fell back into finances. So I sort of just stuck with that in the end.
Oh, amazing. So what made you go out on your own? If you were employed and happy and helping people, what made you take that big leap into self-employment?
Unfortunately, it was sort of taken out of my hands, really. I was made redundant during lockdown while I was pregnant. So at that point, I just took some time off because I was working really hard while I had my first child, while I was in that finance director role and running a big company. So I took some time off for a while, and then January 2021, I decided I'm not going to go out and build profits for big corporations. I want to help smaller businesses thrive and make my own business around my family, so I don't have to sacrifice that time with them again.
Yeah, I love that, and I think that's lots of people will relate to that story. And so I mean, I guess leaving a role where you'd really worked hard to build yourself up to that position, and you were making a massive difference to the business, and then someone saying, sorry, we don't need you anymore, like that's not great for confidence. So how did you feel like when you decided you were going to start your own business up? Is that something that you felt you had a different level of confidence around, or was it a journey to build the confidence back up to go out on your own?
Yeah, so first of all, I thought I'll just do people's bookkeeping and self-assessments from home for like minimum charge a month. I soon realised that wasn't actually what I was doing. I was actually helping them build their businesses and giving them business advice, and just pouring everything that I knew into their business and being part of their business, as well as just doing the year-end stuff. So I really quickly realised that I need to be selling myself more as advisory and along with the bookkeeping as well. And it's taken me a while to realise that because of the confidence sort of shift when I got made redundant. And this year I've done a lot of personal development, and yeah, I'm just sort of realising what I can now actually achieve, because I've got some really great results for my current clients and change their lives. So I just need to sort of go all in and change some more lives, really, as well as my own.
Oh, bless you. It really is a confidence journey, isn't it? It really is, because when we start out in our brand new business, and I had exactly the same experience of being made redundant. However much we can tell ourselves that it's not a personal thing, it's a bit like when any kind of breakup in a relationship, it's like, well, it's not you, it's me, or it's not you, it's the business. But you, in the back of your head, you're like, no, it really is me, isn't it? It really is me. And then you think, oh, who else is going to want me? How am I going to go out there and sell myself? It really is really tough. So I love the fact that not only have you been brave enough to go out there and start a business, as you've been helping people, you've realized, actually, I can help people in a different way. And this is the thing. You've really, even though your business is still like early days and new, you've still already changed the route. You've changed the direction. You've said, oh, I'm doing this, this isn't quite right. I need to tweak this. I need to change this. Can you tell us about like what your client base looked like really at the beginning and what you're trying to move it towards now?
Yeah, so I did hit my sort of goals for my first year before I found you guys. I just wanted to earn my tax-free allowance around my kids. And I did do that, but it was quite stressful because I had to go to people's offices. I was only charging myself out for like £25 an hour, well, less than £25 an hour, I think it was. But I did hit my, it gave me that sort of confidence boost that, and even one of my clients said to me, would you like to become my finance director like later on? I was like, well, then why are you paying me just £20 an hour if you think I'm, worth, you could see the potential in me. So at that point, I found you, it was like a year ago. This time last year, I was still, sort of charging myself out £20 odd an hour, and feeling really stressed and working all I could and really not bringing what I needed in, and not impacting as many people because I was stretching myself so far. But now I've got a client base of 15 clients now, and I'm not being paid. I'm not charging out like myself out for an hourly rate. I've just taken on an employee, and like we're not doing hourly rate stuff. It's all on monthly recurring fees, and they're either in or they're out. And if they don't pay my fees, then they're not in, and they don't get my expertise in their business.
Yes, I love this, Jodie. I know you've had massive growth over the last few months. What's changed in the last few months for you?
The fact that I'm now selling that advisory, I suppose, and like really my clients telling me where I've got them. I've got one client that said that I've helped her hit her 2025 goal now, like after a few months working together, and that gave me a massive boost. And she put all she could into our relationship, and I gave her all I could out, and that's got her the result. So, and then when I doubled her fees, I think it was nearly double, a couple of months last month, she was like, I need you. So yeah, fine. I was like, oh, okay.
It's so interesting because we always ask and talk about how do we find clients? How do we find clients? How do we find clients? But if you're providing the client with a service that isn't quite aligned with what your best service is and what they actually want and need, then your business can still feel wrong. You could have all the clients in the world, but if there's not a great value exchange, then it doesn't work. And that's why this evening at 8:00 session, we're going to be discussing what is your gold standard service. And it sounds like, Jody, what you've done is your initial thing was getting clients. And then you're like, whoa, hold on. Let me change my offering and figure out what it is that I want to offer that's going to give the most value, that I can charge with confidence because I know that they're going to get great results. That's like, what an amazing journey in such a short space of time you've done. I mean, if someone's sitting there and thinking, what are the telltale signs that the service isn't quite right? What was you thinking and that you needed to change? What was coming up?
So if somebody saw me as just doing the year-end sort of stuff, then those types of people and wouldn't like jump on Zoom calls with me or interact with me. I send a lot of voice notes to my clients. If they don't interact with me or, engage in the conversation that's going to get them the success to help them build that business, I'm not interested. If they want to stick where they are, then they don't need my services. They need I call them dinosaur accountants, to just do the year end for them. But I'm not just a bookkeeper. I want to offer that sort of advice and the knowledge that I've got, and I've done it for bigger businesses. So why can't I help smaller businesses become those bigger businesses? And that's really the people that I want to help more, is the people that want to go from nothing, have a really great idea, but want to go to 100k or more or whatever the goal is, but grow it so it satisfies their needs in their life. And I don't think that schools really educate us enough around all that sort of stuff. They want us to be employed, but it's more of an entrepreneurial sort of mindset out there now, and people want to work from home and all the rest of it. So I just want to help more of those people get, I probably could go and get a really big job in another corporation, but that won't make me feel happy. So
it's like you're enabling people to achieve the dreams that they have by giving them the power of their numbers. And I know, like, I've sat down with you and we can just have a big chat about business, and I see you as that partner in business where you can, or the finance director, and you can sit at the table with them and say, what do you want, what's happening now? And like, how did you get onto the conversation with the person who said to you, I've already hit my 2025 goals by working with you? Did you ask her that? Because I think, like, there are so many bookkeepers and accountants watching this thinking, well, I know I've helped my clients, but no one's ever given me, because that feedback is really helpful for you to know you're making a difference. That's the value, isn't it? And we don't always, clients don't readily give that to us. So did you ask for it?
So during the proposal, like sales first call that we had, I asked her what her goal was to make her think about it. And every time I sort of touch base with her, I was going to start talking about these sorts of, but by the time I caught her up with everything, and because I took all the worry away of the finances, I feel like I let her then go and sell what she wanted. And because she wasn't worried about the finances and that the finances would be covered, like, it's quite complicated, like VAT and import VAT and export VAT. She was worried about all that sort of stuff before our relationship, but just taking that worry away and me going, like, you can do this. She's just gone out and done it. And I think it was when I did the fee renewal call, she said it to me, like, you've helped me get there, so it doesn't matter how much it costs.
Wow, that is so powerful. It's so powerful. And I think it's I think we need to think about this for our own businesses. What do we need to get rid of? What's holding us back from moving forward and having more powerful conversations and selling and doing what we really should be doing? And you've done that as well by bringing in an employee and things like that. It's about, because you're a business owner and you see yourself as a business owner, you can sit at the table as an equal with your clients and say, let's have a chat about business and see how this evolves and how I can help you. I think it's fascinating. So tell us about how you found your first clients. What did you think, and has that changed how you find clients now? Has that changed from how you started?
So I started by just telling everybody what I was doing, and a lot of my client base is local. One lady, she took a year to come on board with me, and that's because I was going into a cafe and talking, being there in her sort of presence all the time. And then eventually she got annoyed with her dinosaur accountant and then moved over to me because she wanted more support. And so, yeah, I think you just got to prolifically tell everybody you possibly can what you're doing. Grab every opportunity you can. And family and friends might not get it at first, but they might know a business owner that might get it. So you've just got to expand your network in any sort of way you can. And sort of client referrals and stuff are good as well. But yeah, most of my client base is local, and that's not just through social media, sort of the networks talking.
You've done quite a lot of work in communities as well. So I've seen you speaking. I've seen some of your LinkedIn posts lately, and you're like clearly like presenting something to a group of people. How have you got yourself in that situation, and how has that helped your business?
So I've just stood up as an expert in my field, I suppose, and joined other communities, and just, like I said, you just got to literally jump on every opportunity you can. And somebody said to me, do you want to speak at my event? I was like, yes, please, that'd be great. And then I got another great client out of that process as well. And sorry, I've lost my train of thought there. Where were we talking about?
No, that's all right. I was just wondering about how did that happen for you, and then what's the result been for you? And it sounds like you've offered it and you've said, I can do that. That is within my...
I just talk to people that are sort of where I want to be, because they have a network of people that that will be who will be my ideal client. I sort of don't want to play small anymore and want to get those bigger clients that really need my help, not just for my own sort of my own revenue, but to help them with their revenue as well, because I do see a gap in the sort of finance education. There's definitely a gap in there, like between like leaving school and then even these business owners that are still quite young that are making 6-figure businesses from their spare rooms at home is just amazing, isn't it? But it's really easy for them to get into trouble with VAT and taxes and not saving enough. So I just want to fill that gap really and talk and help as many people. But yeah, elevating yourself into those networks of where the people are that you want to talk to and help.
So you've mentioned like coffee shop, going into a coffee shop, talking to family and friends, turning up into rooms where people are. How have you got the confidence to do that? Because like that's scary.
It is scary. But you know, I've been in a position where it was scary to run this big company that I used to run, and that was scary. And I've just always had the ambition to be bigger. I suppose it's just always been in me. And you know, for anybody that's watching that just wants to be a bookkeeper and just wants to do those tax returns really well and do all the bookkeeping really well, that if that suits you, then do that. But if you want to be more than that, then you've just got to grab a bit of confidence and run with it really.
Does that confidence come over time? Is it like trial and error, or like I guess sometimes it doesn't work out and you get rejected or you don't get the client or it doesn't go how you think?
Yeah, so I've said to quite a lot of people that my disengagement list is nearly as big as my client list. Maybe not now because I've had a few more clients, but I don't work with people that don't gel with me and don't make me feel happy, because they can just drain so much out of you, and that doesn't give you your confidence any good actually. And actually disengaging the crappy clients really does give you a confidence boost, because you're in control of your business and your life. So just do that and don't work with. I spoke to one of my clients today, and they were working with people that didn't make them feel happy, and they were like, oh, but I've just lost them. I was like, that's great, keep doing that. Don't dwell on stuff that made you feel unhappy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that about control. You've really done that, Jody. Your passion and drive, and you are an action taker. You have not only done hard things, you've invested in things along the way to help you get results faster. There's no magic pill. You've done the work.
Yeah, you got to work hard. And the last year I've not really earned much like myself, because I've just been ploughing most of my profits into developing me personally, because I knew I could have stuck at being a bookkeeper, charging myself high at £20 an hour. That was working, but that's not what I wanted long term. I want to get back up to that sort of point where I was the person changing lives and, changing, being that person that can help a lot more people. And that's taken a year to build up, really.
Mm. You are the person who changes lives, Jody. Someone standing there saying, I've already reached my 2025 goal because you took the interest in my goals and you made me talk about them, so then you could put them on that path. Like, you are changing people's lives, so you are already doing that. Personal development wise, can you tell me a little bit about what you've invested in to help you grow over the last year or so? Because people are saying here in the comments, Jody, someone said something really good. It was about like your growth as a person. I've seen your growth as a person. People are seeing your growth as a person. What's the secret? What do we need to do?
Yeah, invest in yourself. Take those chances. I started out in the Success Lounge and the Success Program. That was my first, and that at the time was like, oh, what am I doing? And I've done things like I've done that probably 3 times this year. Invested in big chunky things that makes you feel a little bit sick, but it brings the results in. And you've got to do the work. You've got to invest in these things grow your network, because it's not just doing the program, it's also meeting other people and having those people around you that can pick you up when you're having a bad day, or you're having a little wobble and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. The amount of times I've been on Indeed going, I'll just go and find a finance director job in the last year has been like quite a few times. But you've just got to, stick at it, and the hard work will pay off.
It's very apparent, Jodie, that you do hard things. I know that being here right now isn't easy for you. It's not like, oh, I'm just rocking up. And I think people need to take note. Jodie's not getting this success because she's investing in things, ticking a box and moving on. She's investing and doing the work and taking the actions that the people are telling her to do along the way. And when we invited her to come onto this podcast, I know that her initial reaction would be, I know I need to, oh God. And I know it's not easy, and she's not doing it she's pushing herself past her comfort zone continuously, standing in front of that room full of entrepreneurs. You've just told us you've got another opportunity to come up and speak to even more people in a room. And you're not by any means breezing through this, because I think there's a perception. I've had it in the past as well. People have said, oh, you're so lucky. I'm like, what? Really? Like, no, luck. You get luckier the harder you work and the more you push yourself out of your comfort zone. If someone is looking for, I don't think me and Zoe ever say that things are easy. Like, we've never, there are simple things you can do, but it doesn't mean that they're easy. And we like to shine lights on things that, are simpler, but you've still got to get out of your own way. Have you got any advice on like how you're here today? What's helping you get through and make hard decisions and actually then take action?
I think you need to have your goal, your sort of end goal in 5 years' time in mind, and then work backwards. What's going to get me to that point? Like, I've got really big goals, like for next year and the year after. I know charging myself out at £20 an hour doing bookkeeping wasn't going to get me there. So that's really excelled my mindset and investing so much in personal development and all that sort of stuff. You've got to decide where you want to be in 2, 3, 5 years' time, and then work backwards to how you're going to get there. And being in the Success program really made me realize that I don't want to be charging myself out at £20 an hour. I want to be this. I want to work my way up so I feel the same sort of success that I did when I was a finance director for, a big firm. And if I can do that for 30 businesses from my spare room at home, then that would be amazing,
Oh yeah, you can do that. I love that. What is it? What's the sense of success? Can you pin it down? Do you know when you'll feel like you've achieved that? Like, what will you feel like when you feel that success that you've achieved?
At the moment, next year I want us to get back to where I was when I got made redundant. It took me 5 years to get there, and I don't want it to take 5 years to get there again. And I'm very confident that's going to happen next year. I want my husband to go back to be working part-time. And we've got to renovate this house and things like that. So yeah, I've got big goals. My husband's, taking the slack while I've been building this business for a couple of years. So yeah, I just want to get back to, like, I was the breadwinner and he was working part-time, and it's sort of swapped around while we had our second child and stuff. And I just want to, it's not just for me or what I can go and buy, it's the life goals that pushes me.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. And you have now just declared it on a recording, your goals. So it's now out there. It's out there in the world, and you've said it. And do you think, Jodie, I know that when we've spoken, you have often been quite afraid of articulating the goals that you want, because you've been scared that they were too big. But actually, when you did start to actually start saying them, you'd be like, actually, they're all right. What's helped you do? I think a lot of it is the fact you've done a lot of networking, and you've shown up and you've invested, and you've surrounded yourself with people that have helped your mindset. I believe that that's something that you've really thrown yourself in. You're everywhere. You are, and you're like a sponge. You're absorbing it, because you've definitely not found it easy. Like, even then, because someone just said, "Oh, share your goals," and I was like, "Oh God, don't ask her to do that," because I know that it's been difficult for you to articulate them, hasn't it?
Yeah, because I feel partly greedy for saying out loud what I want, because I'm already in a good place. Like, from, me and my husband do work hard, and that's how I've got work. That's how we are where we are today. I've always thought I was lucky by landing that level 2 bookkeeping job, and then, becoming this finance director and earning, more than anybody else would have at that age. But it wasn't. It was my hard work, and so yeah. Next year I want to be a six-figure practice, and the year after that is 250,000. It's just yeah. Is that going to satisfy people's needs for my goals?
I think it definitely does, and I think what you're saying is it's not all about money, is it? It's about your husband being able to work part-time. It's about what family life looks like, and what you can do, and
also my clients' family life.
Yes, and what you say about feeling greedy to set big goals is something that so many people watching this will relate to as well, because I completely get it. I feel very fortunate to, the way I bring my children up is very different to the experience my mum will have had as a single parent bringing us up on a council estate. And I'm like, who am I to want more? Surely everything is great. What, how dare I set myself big goals? And I think lots of people will be thinking, well, I'm all right. And there are people going to food banks at the moment and people who can't pay their bills. And, why should I, want more? But what you've just said, there are lots of things here. You make your luck, like you've done all the work. You're working really hard to make this happen. But also, there's so much money mindset stuff here, isn't there, about our sort of expectations of what it is to have money. And who was it said about it before? What's the cartoon that was on when we were kids and there was like the duck and he was diving into all the pound coins?
DuckTales.
Yeah. So like we've all got this mind. I think we've been conditioned to think that people with money are a certain kind of person because we see it in the media all the time. And but that doesn't mean that's what it would be like if we were achieving financial goals. All it means is that we've learned how to make success. We can help other people to have success. We're the kind of people who give back, like Joe and I. Anyone who's ever doing a charity, anything, it's not even a question between us. It's just like, so-and-so's doing a fundraiser, I've donated some money, just so you know. And I think it's those kind of things. It's like understanding what your values are as a person, so you can then give yourself permission to be able to go out and set the bigger goals, because then you can fulfill more of the things that are your values as a person. So I feel like this goes round and round, and that's what you're demonstrating with what you want for your clients.
Yeah, I was thinking earlier, like I could have quite easily gone and get another finance director role, but I would have just been making the rich richer. I don't want to do that. I want to take everyday people and help them build wealth for their family, like long-term stuff, rather than just get rich quick schemes or, yeah.
You can hear
the passion.
You can hear the passion and everything coming through. And this is, everyone watching, this is someone that has done the work, who has connected with their values, who has pushed through the fear, done things when they felt they're not ready, and still working on it. You are not a finished article, Jodie. None of us are. And you know that, but you're also recognizing and celebrating the fact that you're further on than you were. And you've said, like, you have chosen to, and I know you have invested because you don't want it to take you 5 years. So, and you're already seeing, you know that if you stopped investing, the money would be there, but it's not the point of where you want to be. And you know you need to have all of the foundations and everything sorted because you want to get there quicker. You could get there in 5 years and not accelerate your success so quickly. You could choose that, and everyone gets to choose. And how Jodie's done it might not be right for you. And I think from how Jodie's done it, it didn't always feel right to her. Because I know that you've questioned yourself constantly along the way, going, is this right? Is this right? Why am I doing this one? Because we've had these conversations. But wow, what a different space you're in compared to this time last year. And we are really, really proud of you because you have done hard things. What would you say to someone that's listening that, say, a year ago, like they're in similar, because we have people that are obviously training, joining. I saw someone in the comments said that the same situation, they've been made redundant, things like that. What is it? Do you have any lessons, top tips, or anything that you feel from your journey could help somebody else?
You just got to do the hard stuff. You've just got to decide what's going to get you to that next. And it's not just doing the hard. Each baby step might be hard, but then you do a couple of easy baby steps, and then you get confidence a little bit more, and then you've got another big step to go through, and you've just got to keep pushing. And even if you get knocked back a step, just keep standing up and putting in the hard work and investing in yourself. If you can only afford books and sort of free networking events at the moment, do that, and build up a reserve of money that you could possibly invest in the future. If you've got money to join a program or be around other people that are doing the things that you want to do, then do that. Do it in your own way, but have that end focus of where you want to get to in mind.
Oh, I love that, Jodie. Jodie, while we're talking about investing in programs, would you mind if I ask you a little bit about the Success Program and your experience of being a member? Thank you. I'm dropping this on you, Jodie, because I didn't ask this before. Remind me, when did you join the program?
A year ago.
Okay, and you've completed the Success Program, and I see you in our Success. Great, I love that. And I see you in our Success Lounge calls. So I know you come along and you get involved in the community. But when you think about the program and the on-demand training and the workbook and everything, which parts of that have really made an impact on your business?
So I always listen to Joe's Perfect Life visualization. I can't remember, meditation thing. That really, if I'm having a tricky day, I go back to that and I'm like, right, this is going to refocus me. The community, just having, the program is amazing, and that has helped me formulate a plan. But it's more the community and the weekly calls. There's like loads of weekly calls that you can just jump if you're having a crappy day, or you need a bit of support. Like either today or the next day, there's going to be people that you can jump in, and I have jumped in. All the replays probably have me in it because I've just prolifically talk and share my problems and try and get help in any way I possibly can, but then also give back. I know I have given back to the community, and I've got some friends in the Success Lounge that will be friends forever. So it's not just about doing the program, it's the networking and being around people that are doing the stuff that you want to do.
I love that. And knowing that it's there when you need it, that's really interesting to hear. Like just saying, like whether it's a technical Q&A or a sales session or something, just knowing there's going to be something and you're going to jump on with people that and feel
even if it's not on subject and you needed some help that day, then there's people there to support you.
I love that. Oh, Jodie, it's been really nice to speak to you. Thank you so much for coming on to talk to us about everything that's happening in your business. It's amazing. How can people connect with you, Jodie, and find out more about what you do?
Probably LinkedIn is the best place at the moment. I'm there. If you don't know that I'm on LinkedIn, then definitely go and follow me on LinkedIn because I'm quite active in there at the moment. If you want to drop me a message, then drop me a message. That'd be great.
Oh, love it. Thanks, Jodie. Right, I think we're going to give a t-shirt away today on this session because we've had lots of light bulb moments thanks to Jodie's insights. Jodie, I'm going to give you the job. Can you pick a number from 1 to 15, please?
1 to 15. 11.
11, okay. So we counting there. Kirsty Andrews. Let's send Kirsty Andrews. Oh, t-shirt, Kirsty. I love that. Kirsty, drop us a message and we'll get your t-shirt sent over to you. I love that. Well done. Lovely. Well, thank you ever so much, Jodie, for your time. Thanks everyone who's tuned in this morning. It's been fab to be here. We're going to be back at 1 o'clock. We're speaking to Jill Russell, who's our member success coordinator. She's going to help you with your 60-second pitch. So if you're thinking about going to networking, what do I say in that moment when I meet someone for the first time, or I'm in a group and I can introduce myself, and how do I make the most of it? She's going to talk to us all about that networking anxiety you might have, nailing your pitch. Really looking forward to it. So we will see you at 1 o'clock. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye.